We're at Trask. The time has come. We're picking up a big giant ass turbo kit to put on a big giant ass motor, and it's going to be awesome. So I have no idea how this thing goes on here, which is basically just going to be a treat to figure out. I think it's direction time. Got a lot to read. We are assembling the head pipe right now and the wastegate. At least I think I'm assembling it. This dude's gonna go down there, but I'm gonna have to cut this guy shorter. All right, I'm gonna leave this loose. I think next we put on the plenum. This exhaust is so dope. I'm so excited about this. This is definitely some real drifty looking stuff right here. That is lovely, absolutely lovely. But tell me that's not the sickest looking shit you've ever seen on a motorcycle. It's like an Indiana Jones key or something. I'm almost done. It's 4:20. Kind of want to go ride some mountain bikes. Let's just take a little walk on down to Make Believe Corner. Come on, guys. It all starts with a little burst of air.
All right, so we're here with Ryan with his Street Glide with our Assassin Turbo on his 135. I gotta spend some time here, build a map for it, because we've never tuned one of these with the turbo, and we'll start playing with it and start cranking some boost in it and see what kind of power we get out of it.
Are you gonna spin it any times right off the jump and see what it does, or?
Yeah, we'll get it. I'll make sure it's safe, start hitting it, and every time we go, it'll make more. So.
That's perfect. Let's see how she sounds. Got an issue.
You kick those fans on, Alex?
Made 193 horsepower on the first pull with no tuning. The Speedo moves as fast as the tack. On first pull, it made 193 horsepower and 168 foot-pounds of torque. Hasn't done anything to it, just made sure it was safe enough to pull. Already almost 200 horsepower.
193.
Unreal. When the Speedo moves the same speed as the tack, that's when you know you're making real horsepower.
Yeah, first pull at 193.
This thing's gonna be stupid. You also have no dips.
No, that's most of the time that's how turbo setups are.
Yeah.
You don't get the pipe dips in the beginning or anything like that, because they hit so hard and the boost comes in, and you can see the torque curve. I mean, by $3,000 we're 163 foot-pounds, and this is the first pull. Yeah. It's still rich. It needs tuning,
It was running real rich. It was like in the 12s, it looked like most of the time up there.
And I was seeing like 10.7, 11.5, so we can bring that down.
Do you run it richer on the turbo side?
Yeah. So
what are you normally shooting at?
So 12.0, 12.5 with the turbo setup under boost. Obviously, if you're not under boost, you can lean it out, so that way you can get some decent gas mileage riding down the highway.
So with the Thunder Max, can you set up different parameters for when it's boost and when it's not boosting?
So it has basically a curve where, based on throttle position. So if you're, say, under 20-30% throttle, they'll be running 13.7, 13.8, and then once you start cracking the throttle, it starts tapering down. And then it also has an enrichment also with the boost PSI. It has a fuel table where it adds additional fuel on top of the base map. So there's a couple things that go on.
Does that read off of the 2-bar map that's in there now?
Correct, yeah, the 2-bar map sensor, yep.
As far as you say throttle position, how much the throttle is open, is that going to affect how fast the turbo spools, or is it just really off of RPM and force on the motor?
Yeah, so I mean it's based off RPM and load. So obviously, yeah, if you sit here and you're in neutral and you friggin' wide open it, it's not going to build any boost. It has no load to build boost, anything like that. But if you go, say, half throttle while you're riding on the road, obviously the RPMs aren't going to increase as fast. So you still may get to 8 pounds, but it won't be snappy and happen right when you hit it. Whereas if you're riding on the road at $3,000 in this thing and you snap it at wide open, you pretty much get full boost almost instantly, and off you go.
And linear the whole time.
Yep.
basically no matter what. Huh?
Yep. Yeah, they're not super, no, the way the boost comes in is not super aggressive. So it, it doesn't just throw you off the bike. Yeah. But once it starts getting boost, you feel it starts pulling back on your arms and you're going for a ride.
And eating tire. Ooh, did you put air in the tire?
Yeah, it had like 20 pounds in it.
Yeah, that's about right.
We're up to 40 now.
It's bald. She gonna hold traction when we start spending some shit?
You can sit on the back if it doesn't.
There we go. Fucking tandem this thing up right here.
We check the map over, make some adjustments, lean it out a little bit, and keep tweaking on her, and I don't see any reason why we won't get over that 200 mark.
So with the turbo, is the torque usually lower?
Usually, yeah. The turbo helps it run the horsepower out the back door, whereas normally by 5 grand, your horsepower is kind of leveling off. Yeah. Whereas you can see it just keeps, you can keep spinning this thing and it'll just keep making horsepower. Yeah, and torque usually is, 10, 20 foot-pounds less, especially on these bigger inch ones.
This is naturally aspirated, red. See the dip when you're naturally aspirated? See the difference so far? We've already climbed almost 40 horsepower without tuning it. We did around 14 foot-pounds of torque, 15 foot-pounds of torque. That's probably gonna go up. That's gonna go up. And this is gone. Ready?
Yep, let's get it.
It's time.
That's a hot pull too.
We're creeping on 200, 197.42 and 174 foot-pounds. We gained 10 foot-pounds already and a couple more horsepower, and that's like the first hot pull right there. Still a little tuning. I think we'll clear 200 today. You ever rode a 200 horsepower motorcycle? If you have, tell me some stories down below. I want to hear about it. Give me a little heads up on what I'm expecting.
Try one more, see what happens.
We might run out of clutch before we run out of power gain. It's a stock clutch. We put heavier springs in there. Technically should hold up, but probably not going to hold up. So we're going to take her as far as we can. Give up. Just shift the bed up. Spooled boost. The tack kept climbing, but the speedo stopped at like 80 miles an hour. That is an astronomical amount of power to throw down on a stock Harley Davidson clutch. We have heavier clutch springs in it, so it has more clutch pressure, but it's just not enough.
So while we've been tuning it, clutch started pulling through the clutch. Here at Trask, we have a product called the Power Plate. It's a new pressure plate for the M8 models and the CVO twin cams, and comes with a new set of springs, a heavier duty set of springs, and it adds just a little bit extra clamping force on those springs to give you that little bit extra clutch push on it, keep it from slipping.
So she did spin the clutch at almost 200 horsepower.
Yeah, this bike's making almost 200 horsepower. And it's just now starting to pull through the stock clutch with our turbo springs. So now we're going to throw a power plate on it just to give it that little extra clamping force, and that should be able to hold the power that we're making.
It's pretty impressive, honestly, for a stock clutch to last that long.
Well, especially with the shit you've put it through already.
Yeah, it hasn't had a good life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've beat all this bike's done has just been beat on. I took it on a road trip one time, and then I've just...
You guys rode it around Sturgis, didn't you?
A little bit. A little bit. I got pulled over every single time I left the venue. Every single time I got pulled over, I went out in Sturgis. We rode to Rushmore and stuff and all that.
Okay.
And I did a good 500-mile weekend and some rides on it, but I would say it's got 600 miles of riding and 1,500 miles of stunt shows.
Of burnouts and shit.
Yeah. It made it to 198 horsepower. That's pretty good. And now we're going to drop in this one. They had one laying around. This is not the packaging that it comes in, but I'm getting the hand-me-down that looks pretty dialed, and it matches the color of my wheels. So we'll see what she does. Yeah. This will also be a good test, see how well this works, because this thing hits about 80 miles an hour, and then the tack keeps climbing, and the speedo stops about right there. So.
Yep. Well, let's throw it in there, see what happens. So we're just put the power plate in, just getting it buttoned up right now, and then we'll keep making passes and see if this clutch holds up now.
She ain't gonna slip.
No.
That feels 50% more aggressive. Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Same springs though.
Same springs, just a plate.
Man,
that's the
other
difference.
One must be flexing a lot.
They do.
This one billet steel. I didn't look at
billet.
Billet.
Yeah. We literally run DP plates and that plate on our race bike, and it makes 230 horse.
Damn. That's a 107 too, right?
Yeah.
How much boost is in that?
15 to 20.
Hear me. We're going to run it again with the new clutch, the power plate from Trask. See how the clutch holds up. It's 50% more pressure on the clutch. It should be more than enough. It should be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it's definitely way more.
Yeah. It's heavy. We're 179 foot-pounds and 196 horsepower. I'm fully pleased with that. Like, man, 225 would be sick, but I think 200 is realistic.
No, when you hit that 200 horsepower mark on a bagger,
Yeah.
it shits and gets.
Oh,
It ain't no, especially with 180 foot-pounds of torque.
I think I'm just gonna fry that tire real fast. That's gonna take some getting used to. I'm just gonna be belting tires everywhere I go. If I know it can,
It's going to.
I'm not gonna be able to ride it normally. She didn't like it.
No, I pulled timing and it lost horsepower. The torque stayed about the same.
I like it as like smoothly rideable as possible.
Especially if this motor wants to live anymore, I'll keep the timing conservative, because then it'll make it run a little cooler.
Yeah.
And you're not making all the power, but you'll have way more power you know what to do with.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm with that. And it's gonna be like drifting in stunt lots and shit like that. So it's gonna get beat on a lot. Keep her in the safety range. So where we are right now is we made 197 horsepower, 178 foot-pounds overall. About 198, 178. Now he's gonna tune it, make it very smooth and livable as much as possible for me beating it up in a stunt lot. Maybe a little on the safer side, might make a little less power, but it'll survive longer for me. I got the motor smoking a little bit already. Yeah, all right.
check this out.
So I've got 10 times more limiter hits than engine starts.
It spent 4 minutes at 5,600. 4 minutes straight.
Yeah, that's how she got hot.
That's your rev limiter is 5,500 or whatever.
Wobble, bop, wobble, bop, bop, bop. Yep. Yeah, that's when she boiled over. I didn't know it was 4 minutes. That's getting down to business.
Oh, you got her hot, but not that hot.
Yeah, that's boiling.
I've seen normal bikes get this hot.
Yeah, but the water cooled, they just don't hold it.
No.
Boils over and makes all kinds of ugly noises. Water cooled don't take it quite as well.
No.
It sounded better that time around. 202, 187 foot-pounds. 202 horsepower, 187 foot-pounds. I think Boots called 202 out there, didn't
Yeah,
he?
it's not 200, 202, yeah. It's making 185 at 3 grand.
185 foot-pounds at 3,000 RPMs. That's insane. What was that timing?
I threw a couple degrees of timing at it, yeah.
Man, it sounded like it pulled cleaner and everything.
187 foot-pounds of torque.
That's a shitload.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, that is 100 and shitload foot-pounds.
That's about as good as it gets right there.
I say we call that.
I assume you want me to turn your limiter back down.
Oh yeah, hit her at like 57 or 58.
55 is factory. That's where it
really?
stops. I set them at 64.
Holy shit! But that's springs and everything, though, right?
You hit it on the head.
Oh yeah, you called it.
Good job.
I'd say I'll run this for a little bit, and then I'll get Harley to send me some new pistons and rings because she
I'm
was.
going to send you cylinders, pistons, and rings.
Yeah, she wasn't broken properly by any means, and it's puffing smoke pretty good. So maybe just a fresh set of rings. She probably makes some more power overall, anyways.
Yeah.
But
It has 1,200 rev limiter hits and 150 engine starts.
Good job, buddy.
it's been fucking. That's its whole life too, right?
Yeah.
So
That's the life of the Fire Max.
that's on the 3 different motor configurations there too. So they've all been. That's
But also, you
mostly this 135, which the 117 with the cam in it was my favorite to ride.
Because it wasn't
Dude.
ridiculous.
Yeah, the 135 was fun, but it was very, very gnarly. The 117 making 130 horsepower was just like, it just felt like a stock bike still, but it would eat the tire when you wanted it to. That was a good time. An easy to stunt ride. Here we are outside with Landon. He's wearing a fresh set of Kruesi Originals I wear because it's really bright out here, and so am I. And if you buy these, it enters you in a chance to win a custom motorcycle built by Kruesi Originals. For every $5 you spend on our website enters you in a chance to win a motorcycle. And that being said, look at that turbo kit right there. It's unreal. Unreal. I just did a couple burnouts. My adrenaline's pumping really hard and I'm a little shaky. It's intense. It's a lot to hold on to.
200 horsepower ain't no joke.
Yeah, on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to get 200 horsepower in my Acura Integra back in the day, and that wasn't happening. You know, this is insane. It's insane. I'm super happy with the numbers. It made almost 190 foot-pounds of torque, like 188.
Yeah, 188, yeah.
Something like that. That's an astronomical amount, and it's smooth. We'll see how much of this tire it can last. I'm gonna ride her a little bit, test ride it. We're gonna go from there. And this turbo kit is available on KruesiOriginals.com. This is the Assassin. We have all the way from the entry level is the Tornado.
Yep, through Drag Specialties.
Yep, up to this is the Baller kit right here, right?
Yep, the Assassin kit is our top of the line, top dog, big turbo, hand cut, pie cut, stainless pipes. And
the amount of time it would take to make that one pipe right there is unreal. I can't believe you'd even offer that as a product, honestly, because manufacturing time in that has got to be insane.
Yeah, it makes some jewelry.
Yeah, it is amazing. The weld work is absolutely beautiful. It is an amazing pipe. The Tornado, does it come with a T25 then?
It's a 22.
Smaller one then.
It's a little bit smaller, yeah.
Gonna spool real fast.
Yep. Yeah, it's for the smaller inch motors, you know, 107, 114, stuff like that.
Make about, what, 30% more power?
Yeah, 40, 50% more over stock.
Really?
Yeah.
So, you know, you could have a 107 M8 bagger, make, what, 160 horsepower, 150?
107 with a good cam in it, yeah, you'd make 145, 150.
That's a lot. And spool, God, I just want to ride it. I'm gonna ride it. I don't know if I could really explain to you what I just did out here because you didn't see it, but it is, I left in second gear and gave it gas and I hit the limiter immediately. So I think like if you're at a leave hard, third or fourth gear might honestly be it.
Yeah. Because
it's gonna come on strong. So I'm gonna see what she does. The ground's real greasy. You got any last statements? Any closing words?
It's been awesome working with you guys. Glad you're happy. I mean, it made some killer power. Time to kill some tires.
202 horsepower in a fucking motorcycle. 202 horsepower, Trask Performance. They definitely know how to do it. It's not over yet. This is just the beginning. We're just gonna keep going bigger and bigger with this thing and some stuff with the Nightster. So stay posted, like, subscribe. TraskPerformance.com, KruesiOriginals.com. With a bike like this, I'm gonna be on your mom. That's third gear when I'm going by here.
Yeah.
It'll just initiate third gear off and stop.
That's awesome.
I think is it rolling a lot of smoke off the tire?
Not a ton.
This shit's so f***ing greasy, I can't even like brake slide there. I can't.
They did this shit like a week ago.
Yeah, there's no way I could like drift on this or anything. It's f***ing nasty. But good God, I think I might be able to get fourth gear. I'm limiter third gear. I'm probably at 90 miles an hour wheel speed.
Yeah.
F***ing crazy. God, this thing is gnarly. I'm gonna say that's pretty good. If I had to guess, I probably still have a lot of tire left. This road is so greasy. I don't have any tire left. Okay, whoo. I've never rode a motorcycle that I could initiate third gear into a roller. And I'm not like grabbing front brake and then dumping it. I'm just dumping it, letting it eat, and then just putting front brake on it after that. And then to just, third gear. I'm probably doing 90 miles an hour wheel speed, I would guess.
Easy, yeah.
80, 90 plus. It's spinning that tire. If I wasn't on slurry coat, I probably would have had a 40-foot wall of smoke behind me. That thing is nuts, dude. It comes on really hard at like 4,000. It comes on and then it's like, yeah, like it hits like a super boost at 4,000, and then the tires.
Coming in.
Then the tire's gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Oh my God. Well, if you ever needed any sort of life experience that just really wanted to turn things on fire for you, try and ride a turbocharged bagger and hold on to it like that. 200 horsepower. I just rode 200 horsepower in a third gear limiter burnout down the street. Almost effortlessly. It just turns the tire to grease in the back. Man, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you all for making it happen. Thank you, Harley Davidson, for supplying a motor that is unbelievable, and then Trask Performance strapping a turbo to it. I'm having a hard time keeping the profanity down right now because I'm really excited and I want to yell a bunch of shit, but this is unreal, dude. Good work. Yep. Thank you very much. Killed it. Well, just got back to the shop from Trask Performance shop, where we just had this thing dyno tuned. You guys saw it. It made 202 horsepower, 188 foot-pounds. It made 185 foot-pounds at 3,000 RPMs. That's at 3,000 RPMs makes more foot-pounds than anything I've ever owned motorcycle-wise or even rode for the most part. It is insane. I just rode it on the street here. The bike is so powerful, it almost doesn't feel fast because in every single gear, the tire just melts. Like, you spool it, it's eating tire. Doing rollers on the thing it's crazy. You don't really have to use front brake because there's so much power. If you just spool it harder, it spins the tire so aggressively that it will almost slow you down. So you can control the speed of the roller with the throttle. It has so much power, which is, that's unheard of in Harley Davidson. You're usually having to just jam on that front brake and lay over the tire and give it hell to get it to do that. This thing is nuts. I need a tire sponsor. Who's out there? That's like a $400 tire. It just lasted me about 4 minutes in front of Trask Performance. So if anybody wants to throw tires our way, that'd be super sick. But I'm going to be burning the streets down with this thing, and I'm going to start riding some stunt shows on this. So if you come out and watch us, probably October 12th at Sanctuary for Metro Mayhem here in Phoenix, Arizona, you can see this thing rip a little couple rollers through the old spot there. It will be a good time. Come check it out, KruesiOriginals.com. Every $5 you spend on there enters you in a chance to win a free motorcycle from us. We built it. It's dope. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of this. Thank you, Harley Davidson. Thank you, Trask Performance. Thank you, Legend Suspension, Archetype Manufacturing. I think we got everybody. Jade Affiliated, Saddleman Seat Company, Simpson Motorcycle Helmets, Trent Mercado, local sponsor.
Sponsor with labor.
With his whole life.
He sponsors with Labrias. That's it. I'm out. I'm going home. Peace. Woo, my fucking heart's pounding right now. That's intense. That thing's intense. You wanna ride it? Wow. Wow. Fucking wow. Yeah, just,
Did you see the front tire?
yeah, just lifted the front tire right off and did a burnout at the same time. Fucking shit.